For CAFKA.21, I was involved in a couple different ways. First of all, I helped design the branding for the festival, so the images for ads and social media posts and the website and the exhibition guide. Since the theme of this year's festival was everything not saved will be lost, I decided to go with this kind of wildflower motif, pressed flower motif. And I chose that to kind of echo that idea of preservation, but I also thought that there was maybe something nice about using these local wildflowers that I'd picked in downtown Kitchener to kind of like create a bit of an interesting tension there and maybe pull a little bit in the opposite direction, because I love the way that wildflowers kind of assert themselves in all these neglected corners of an urban space. And so I hope that maybe just in a subtle way that would kind of speak to the sort of human hubris of feeling that we always need to intervene to make something happen. And the second project that I was involved with for CAFKA this year was these big window installations at Cafe Pyrus in downtown Kitchener. So this project originally started as just a kind of running list of observations that I made during the 2 years that I lived in downtown Kitchener. I lived right on Queen Street, right next door to Victoria Park, and during those 2 years I spent a lot of time walking around the neighborhood. So I kept this list of things that kind of struck me as interesting or funny or tragic or tender or maybe all of the above. And I had this idea that I would make like a very tiny zine out of it, a very little book, like maybe 2 inches tall. So this window installation, which was Kafka's idea, is kind of the exact opposite of that. But what I really love about having it installed there is that I think the people who will see these drawings in their kind of everyday routine are probably going to be pretty familiar with the neighborhood. And I hope that maybe some of the specific sort of moments in these drawings are familiar to them, and maybe they can say, hey, I know that tree in Victoria Park, or I've seen that graffiti on the back of that no parking sign. And for me, I think there's something really valuable about being truly attentive to your surroundings. These kind of little mundane details of the space around you kind of quietly make up your everyday experience. And so I think that we should have a more caring and intimate relationship with them, and especially in our kind of accelerationist culture that sort of trains us to only care about what is productive. I think it's important to actually try to really pay attention. So I guess that's something I hope that people take away from this piece.